Everyone's barking about minorities and their rights, especially in countries where Rafid are the minorities. They're worried about their rights. But no one's there to stand for the rights of the minorities of Ahl Sunnah in Iran who are being slaughtered and massacred. While the news is playing left and right on the necks of our brothers in Iran, the Ruwaybida are meeting to call for unity. Lack of care of the Ummah. These are the kind of leaders we have. I wonder those foolish Ruwaybida, the frauds of this Ummah, who claim to be of Ahl Sunnah, who have been meeting for unity. And until today, I don't know what, I mean, they haven't learned, they haven't been seeing what's going on in the world. They're still calling for unity. At the same time, the noose has been playing left and right at the necks of our brothers in Iran. And you see what they're doing in Syria, in Iraq. It's even worse. We didn't say go run around to the street and grab the Shia and beat them, or the Rafida and beat them, or harm them, or torture them, or touch them. But at the same time, we definitely say there's no unity in belief with them. No, there isn't. Look at the scenario and focus with me. Those guys who call for unity, those big heads that call for unity, those who sign for pact. What if we're going to take it as a scenario. What if you were in, no one do this, but I'm just giving you a scenario so you can understand. You know, you call one of them up, you say, you know, your mom, your sister, she was messing around with a couple guys. You know, your mom, after your dad died, she was messing around with another man and she betrayed your dad. You know, your dad, he was a homosexual. Sheikh, that's your mom and your dad, but you, me and you, I think we can get along. Sheikh, that's your mom and your dad, but can you come over and give us a lecture in our community? Sheikh, that's what I think about your mom and your dad, but I want to unite with you. I want to be pals with you. I want to sit and have coffee with you. I want to sit on the round table with you. That's what I think about your mom and your dad. And I want my kids and your kids to grow up together. But that's what your mom and your dad are about. That's what they are. What do you think the answer of him will be? These are people, those pro-unity people, once they smell someone talking about them, they warn about them and they tell their congregation and their students and the smell of it. Imagine if that's said to them. That's what the Rafida, what I just said, that's what the Rafida say about my mom and your mom Aisha. That's what they say about my dad and your dad Umar radiallahu anhu wa an Aisha. When you say you're a Rafidi, that means you adopt their belief. Like when I say I'm Sunni, I believe in the books of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. When you say you're a Rafidi, you believe in their reference books. We didn't get this out of our pockets. That's in your reference books that's been praised by your heads. If one of them pops up using tuqya, says he doesn't believe it, well, that's tuqya. If he says I don't really believe in it, then we'll tell him, come here, buddy, you got an identity crisis. If you don't believe in what's in your reference books, that means you got to go to therapy, get your title changed. You got to get that title changed, because a Rafida believes in the books of the Rafida. That's what you're called Rafida. Christian believes in the Bible. These are people, for decades they've been calling us people of fitan, because we've been telling them what the Rafida are. How dare you guys call me and my father before me, may Allah protect him and grant him a long life full of deeds. You guys cause fitna. What you see in Syria, what you see in Iraq, what you see in Iran. They're people who've been for decades dealing by emotions while we deal by aqidah. Qardawi, who are you guys to talk about it when Qardawi said for decades they're the Muslims and they're our brothers and their imam is a great imam, and Qardawi said it a month and a half ago. After 3 decades or so, and what happened in Syria a month and a half ago, Al-Qardawi stood up and said what I said about the Rafida, the other shuyukh, meaning the other people like us. He said they were right. They had more foresight and I was wrong. Because we didn't go by slogans. The slogans didn't fool us. We know what's in their books. We read what Ibn Taymiyyah said about it. It's time for the rest of them to recant and join what their Sheikh Al-Qardawi said. He recanted. He openly admitted he was wrong in the past 3 decades. After what? But he recanted. The last statistics I was reading is that in Iran there was 20 million Sunnis. Nearly 1/4. They're like what Ash-Sha'bi said about them. The birds. And when they're weak, it's unity. No differences. They want to say no differences. We're facing the same qibla. We're doing the same hajj. When they get the stronghold, look at the massacres. Show me a country, show me a town Now, and in history, where the Rafida took leadership and became the strongholders of it, where they didn't massacre and commit genocide against Ahl Sunnah. Had we had time, I would have went in detail with their history and what they did. Iraq today is another horror story in what they're doing to Ahl Sunnah. Who put Malik in power? Do you understand what Ibn Taymiyyah said when he said their donkey is the enemy's right hand? Who put him in there? Do you know what he's doing to Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah in Iraq as we speak? Syria has become the mother of all lessons. It made Al-Qardawi, Sheikh Al-Qardawi recant and openly confess that the other Sheikh were right all this time. He said that, he clearly said that. It's time for those pro-unity who look up to Al-Qardawi to listen to that. I was reading a list of the generals. They say it's not Shia versus Sunnah or not Alawi versus Sunnah. Bashar has approximately 1,300 generals. Approximately 1,250 are Alawi. And they tell you it's not Alawi versus Sunni. Had I had time, I would mention in-depth details about these matters. Ibn Taymiyyah, to us, is a big scholar, a reviver. They have a man called Ni'matullah al-Jazairi. May Allah doom his soul, may Allah grant him the lowest of hellfire. He died in 1701. He wrote several books. In his biography, they say about him, he's one of the biggest heads of the Rafida. You know what he said, one of his quotes? We do not have nothing in common with Ahl Sunnah at all. Our Lord is not their Lord. Our messenger is not their messenger. We don't believe in a Lord who sent a messenger whose successor is Abu Bakr. Nor do we believe in a messenger who takes Abu Bakr as a successor. He is the same one who spoke about Umar, the statement I said. He's the one who said that Umar, I actually don't want to repeat it. He's the one who said derogatory statements about Umar. Make dua, fill the petitions, raise awareness. So they know that they have brothers of Ahl Sunnah who are wide awake and know what's going on. So they will not continue in their transgression. A little bit of effort on your behalf, and Allah will grant you abundance in reward and put plenty of barakah in it, bi'idhnillah. Do your part and leave the rest to Allah. اللهم فك قيد أسرانا في إيران وأسر المسلمين في كل مكان. اللهم ردهم إلى أهلهم سالمين. اللهم إنهم في حاجة عاجلة إلى رحماتك. اللهم إنهم في حاجة عاجلة إلى رحماتك. اللهم أنزل عليهم رحماتك يا رحمن يا رحيم. اللهم من آذاهم فآذه ومن عاداهم فعاده. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. وجزاكم الله